Hey everybody, welcome back to Bearded Goblin Gaming. On today's video we're going to work on some scattered terrain for ice caves. This is going to work really good for frost giants and white dragon encounters. We're going to do a version that's just standing ice and a version that has buried treasure inside of it. So let's get going. Okay, so usually when I do any of my projects with this blue foam, I end up with a bag full of offcuts. So we'll just go through, and I've already picked out a couple that I kind of like. And this one you can see it's already got some of the ridges already cut into it. We're not going to do anything to that one. This one we're going more for standing pillar. Just cut some faces into it. Make sure your knife's good and sharp. Alright, so this one here we'll just do as a low ice wall. We won't do any treasure or anything into it. This one here, normally the white dragon, you know, he piles up his gold and then he'll breathe his breath weapon on top of it and freeze the water, and so it'll be stacked. So we're just going to take our finger and just dig a couple deep chunks into it. You can do as many of these as you want. And that should be enough. All we're going to do is just take your chosen glue. I usually use wood glue. And just kind of put a little bit in the indent there. Take your gravel. You want some fairly gritty stuff. The bigger stones we're going to be painting up as gems. So just pretty much just like you do your bases. Just do this to every one of them. Some bigger pieces in all of them. And just set this one aside to dry. If you're doing a bunch of them, just get them all ready to go all at once. And that way you can just set them aside, let that glue dry. If you're going to do Mod Podge or anything on these in order to stiffen them up at all, I would suggest just using plain. You could use the high gloss stuff, but you are going to be doing some paint over the top of it. So, but this way, if you just leave it with blue, anything that you paint, it's just going to show through in case you go a little thin. So next you're going to want to pick out your colors. I'm going to go with, where's that? Hedgewood blue and my pale blue. We'll use this for our primary color and then this for our highlight, and then we'll dry brush with some white. Now normally with these, just like I did in some of the other videos for my modern terrain, I'll dig into the bottom of these and I'll actually hot glue in the nuts from those kits just to weight them down. I won't do it on these ones. Okay, so as you know, it takes a while for glue to dry, so I tried a little trick and put hot glue on another piece and just mush the rock into it. This works pretty good. Just make sure you get your bigger rocks down first and then sprinkle your dirt in to fill in the lines. The added bonus to this one is we can see right through the piece of terrain, so that'll give a pretty cool effect on the board. Okay, so we went ahead and we got all the paint up for the ice around the pillar. I went ahead and every place I wanted to put jewels and gold, I painted brown first. And then I took a good gold out of the Citadel. Most of the ones that come in the Craftsmart, they don't have a good coverage, and you can see right through them. After that, I picked out a few gem colors. I got a couple different greens, a red, some yellows, and then we'll start doing the ice from there. One thing, if you go too heavy on it, you're going to obscure a lot of the detail, which is fine if you want it to look deep inside there. But if you want to be able to get a clearer view, get yourself some plasticard, and what you're going to do is just kind of cut out some pieces to go over these holes. And if they're square and a little bit over, it's going to be fine because you're going to put hot glue over them. So you'll be able to see it. Save these little chips if you want. They'll work really good for broken glass on some of the modern stuff. Doesn't have to be perfect. First, keep track of your piece. And then just like before, you'll just start draping your ice down. You can go right over that plastic, cover up the seam. And it's all in how much you want to put on there. I try to go in an up and down motion. You can just go through and pull all those strings off when you're done. Now this one will just fill over the top. My paint wasn't dry. Don't set it on the warm glue. You can see that even with it covered up with that clear glue, you can see through it, and it kind of gives it that amplification. Let your party think that they can just chip it out of there before the dragon notices. Just let that cool. Then you can go over and pull all the little wisps off. Stay down. Just do that. Might have to hold some of these pieces down until they cool off. All right, there you go. Not too hard, a quick thing, you know, make up a big batch of these with a lot of your scrap foam you got laying around and you'll have a big ice cave in no time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.